Former Bosasa COO Angelo Agrizzi has told the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture underway in Parktown Johannesburg about how he had to go through surgery in December 2016. He says it was found that he had a tumour on his heart and was in a coma and on life support. Agrizzi says his family was informed he would not make it and things didn't look good at all. In a startling evidence, Agrizzi says Gavin Watson tried to claim from his life insurance while he was in a coma. Agrizzi says he started receiving threats and messages from unknown people. He says he got calls in the middle of the night threatening his family. He also says that he put in a complaint to the Hawks, but they did nothing. Agrizzi is continuing with evidence where he's detailing his numerous meetings with the Watson family, where he claimed they wanted to buy him off to keep silent. This came after meeting people who wanted to be whistleblowers. Meanwhile, the chairperson of the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, has dismissed AJ Gupta's application, and that's for leave to appeal to cross-examine former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel. Lawyers for the Gupta family applied for the right to cross-examine Manuel about his upcoming testimony about former Minister Fikile Mbalula's suspicions that Atul Gupta had unlawfully interfered in his appointment as sports minister. Now, Justice Raymond Zondo had previously ruled that cross-examination by the Guptas will be done in South Africa. This is how he ruled on the matter this morning. Now, our reporter Mzwandile Mbeje is live in Parktown, Johannesburg, at the inquiry into state capture. Of course, Mzwandile, it's been an absolutely incredible day, shall we say, a half day really at this point in time. The admission, of course, of the threats to retain that money from Agrizzi's insurance as well there. And at the same time, Agrizzi is admitting to as much as being a racist as well.
Well, Arabile, you know, the story of Agrizzi and the Watsons, I'm sure it's only them who truly understand it. The breakups, the reconciliation, the negotiations, money changing hands, the animosity, but the make-up, you know, all packaged into one. So I think this story really, it's only them who would be able to understand if you sit and listen to what Agrizzi is saying about the Watsons and what the Watsons were trying to do to him, and going as far as to say, Arabile, at some point when he was in hospital, and then Mr. Watson, he says he tried to claim for life insurance. But interestingly, Arabile, after that, so again, they somehow tried to make up, because I think these were people really who knew that they needed each other. They had done so many things together. As a result, separating them was quite difficult. I mean, after that hospitalization, Arabile, Mr. Agrizzi basically says, together with his family, they decided to say, enough was enough. This load they were carrying on their shoulders was too heavy. I mean, he called all of them, he called his family, and then to say, I am going to write a statement basically that says, I want to come clean. And then after that, numerous meetings from the Watsons to say, no, let's get into this kind of a deal, so we should not do this. And then there's the issue of the whistleblowers, Arabile, where basically himself is being asked to meet people who want to blow the whistle, and then he meets those people. But still, he says, as he was meeting those people, convincing them that they should not blow the whistle, deep in his mind and in his heart, he knew that at some point that is what he was going to do. But of course, as you mentioned there earlier, he himself really caught into this in one of those meetings where he then used, I mean, the words that we can't repeat here, the K words, calling people all sorts of things, and which he has apologized at this forum. I mean, even the judge saying whatever he was saying in terms of using the K words against the people he had worked with for so long, so was quite offensive. But the other issue, Arabile, very quickly, the issue about the story on the Sunday Times, where it basically sent questions to him because they wanted to write about his property. Yesterday he was asked about that, and then he said so he was never given an opportunity. And the Sunday Times disputed that. They released the emails, the exchange between themselves and Mr. Agrizzi. And basically the chairperson of the commission and the legal head, Mr. Pretorius, were basically saying, so it was important what he said yesterday and what is said today, because it really talks to the nature of his evidence. I mean, in short, Arabile, it was not really a good day in the office for Mr. Agrizzi today.
Yeah, it continues to be a harrowing incident, and of course he continues to try and explain his side of the story as well, and asks Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice Zondo there to explore the facts and really look more into the facts more than anything else. Are we getting a sense, however, that the facts themselves, as he presented them, that's Mr. Agrizzi, are indeed sincere and earnest?
You know, Arabile, you know how ordinarily the judges or even the magistrates, how they reach their conclusions if there is, let's say, contending facts. So they also look into the issue of the credibility of the witness.
Yeah.
Of course, there are so many things here that Mr. Agrizzi said, which I think many people and many South Africans believe. But of course, there would be those, given what he is saying now, perhaps they would say maybe we would want to hear the other side. And if that other side is able to come and present their story here, it will even be more interesting, Arabile. Because if, for example, let's say no one comes here to dispute what Mr. Agrizzi has said, I think the judge, by and large, would go with what Mr. Agrizzi has said.
Sure.
But if there are those people who are able to perhaps show evidence in disputing some of the things that he is saying, so the issue of the credibility of the witness sometimes do come into play. Of course, you can't disregard all the facts, but it's very important to weigh those facts against the individuals that is uttering some of those.
Mzwandile Mbeje out at in Parktown, of course, Johannesburg, at that commission of inquiry into state capture. Angelo Agrizzi continuing in what is his 9th day as the former Bosasa COO testifies there in front of Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo.